How's it going, chicks and mates? This is Mrjacharles, and here is a video made especially for you. 2016 may not have been the best year for most people, including myself. However, during this year I released my first video, Mrjacharles 2, on the 11th of July. I had used a crummy webcam and a £10 microphone to record, so quality wasn't amazing, but since then I've been able to grow as a channel. One of the things I do on a Sunday is Game of the Week, which is where I feature the Let's Play of my favourite game of the week for a week. However, I decided during the Christmas period I would feature instead one Let's Play of the Year video. Now, the games are only ones I have played during 2016, therefore any FNAF fans won't find its listed location here, although I do admit it's a great game. I'm going to keep in mind how much I enjoyed the Let's Play I made, as well as how good the game is itself. Since this is a top 10 list, I do expect someone out there will rage and disagree with me, but my choices for this list are completely opinion based, and not fact. I hope you enjoy the video. The Escapists. Starting the list off with this Team 17 hit, yes, the same people who made the Worms games, The Escapists is a pretty hard but good fun jailbreak simulator. You work around the patterns of the prison you are in, try to find a flaw in the system and break out. Doing this is made possible by combining items you find on the way into useful tools, although to this day I still haven't been able to escape the first prison. The game is single player on PC, but you can play custom maps as well as the maps built into the game. It can be found on Steam Community for £12.99 or $16.22, or if you're willing to put in the extra, there's a Walking Dead expansion pack which totals to £20.99 or $26.21. A warning to the weak-hearted though, if you plan to beat this game without any walkthroughs or cheats, you're in for a hard time. Darkest Dungeon. I've never been into harsh and unforgiving games such as Dark Souls, even though I keep meaning to play the game, but I feel as if Darkest Dungeon is a good type of unforgiving game. You're left to run a village called Hamlet and have to collect family heirlooms to restore your town. How do you do this, you ask? You must gather a choice of 4 different units, risk their lives into a venture into the wilderness, and use whatever you salvage to your benefit. What I like about this game is not only its slick and animated look, but also how unforgiving the game is when a person dies. If you let one of your units die, they go to the grave and cannot be revived. You have to live with the decisions you made killing this character. The game can be found on Steam Community for £18.99 or $23.71, and if you're a fan of the soundtrack, you can buy it for a total of $22.99 or $28.71. The game isn't incredibly difficult to play, although there are a lot of objectives to be had in the game. Bullet Heaven. This game comes from a series known as Epic Battle Fantasy, made by a man called Mrjacharles, aka Kupo707, and Halcyonic Falcon X. This game features 5 different characters, though you have to unlock 3 of them, on a Galaga-like quest destroying enemies and trying to survive each level. You get on your way upgrades to better survive, boss battles to fight, and bullets flying all over the place. I admire this content because it's an admirable flash game which can be found on a site called Congregate, and can even be played for free. You can choose between a campaign mode or go for an endless mode. I chose campaign, and even though I've been on it for about 3 months, I still haven't had the time to beat it. Then again, that's probably because you'll need high reflexes and great tolerance to get through the whole game. But even if you only play up to the first boss, you won't be disappointed. Age of Empires 2 HD Edition. People who watch my YouTube channel know I'm into classic major titles, and this game is considered the major title of Microsoft for PC gaming. Age of Empires 2 is a war simulator where you control a village and defeat your enemies by fulfilling certain objectives. Usually this objective is destroying all their units or their town centre, but there is a campaign mode where you win by completing tasks, or even a mode where you have to kill the opponent's king to win. The game can be enjoyed alone or with friends, and whilst the original is unforgettable, I find the new edition on Steam adds small tweaks which improves the game. The one I found the best was being able to stack farms at mills so you didn't have to constantly rebuild your farms when they ran out of food. Alone this game is £14.99 or $18.72, but there are expansion packs which are $6.99 or $8.73 each. I can find nothing that really bugs me about this game. Whether you'd like to find a match with friends, a challenge through a scenario, or even a friendly game with a CPU, Age of Empires 2 and its HD edition has everything. Oh Sir, the Insult Simulator. On camera, I've only played this game for about an hour, but between the months I've had since being introduced to this game by Dr. Gingersnaps and making this video, I've been on the couch mode non-stop. You can play this game online, offline with friends on the same desktop, or single player through a campaign, but the objective is all the same. You have to beat your opponent by insulting them. The game was released in 2016, and starts off with 3 areas to select and 3 characters. If you beat the main campaign with each character, you'll unlock a locked area and eventually a hidden area, which I won't spoil. You can even unlock characters who are either stereotypes or famous characters, their latest being one of my favourite shooters, Serious Sam. The game is £1.59 on Steam, or $1.99, and if you're willing to put in extra, you can buy along with it another game called Crush Your Enemies for £8.58, or $10.71. Whilst the game may be short and simple, I guarantee you'll get a good laugh out of playing this. Virginia. Virginia was a game I only picked up randomly from Steam, but the sense of mystery behind the plot reminds me of the backstory of games like Five Nights at Freddy's, though not many people may understand what I mean. There are 2 main plots, one where you are investigating a missing child, and another where you are investigating your partner. What makes this game special to me is the fact there is no speech, and everything has to be deciphered through what you witness. More so, the plot is based on an actual investigation, which has been adapted by the developer Variable State. Whilst the animation is admirable, the execution of this game is straightforward. There are no alternate paths or different choices the player makes. However, I've put this high on the list due to the fact it's easy to make fun of the game. The player will have moments of confusion and will be able to perceive this in their own unique way. When I played this, I completely lost my mind over what was happening, the health and safety hazards of the time period, and thoroughly enjoyed the experience I had. The game is £6.99 or $8.73 on Steam, and if you'd like, you can also buy the official soundtrack for £3.99 or $4.98. I wouldn't recommend this game for good gameplay, but for a complex story and easy enough to ridicule gameplay, this game is for you. Cube Escape Theatre / Cube Escape Birthday. Cube Escape Theatre was one of my most frustrating yet interesting experiences of Let's Playing this year. I've also added Cube Escape Birthday, as although they are different games, both appear to say the same story. The series revolves around a character who is recalling events through memory cubes, and each game is a period which the protagonist remembers. Cube Escape Theatre seems to be when the protagonist is an adult, whilst Birthday occurs when they are a child. It's worth noting this game is similarly shrouded in mystery like Virginia, so you'll find deciphering the puzzle by Rusty Lake to be interesting and entertaining. Furthermore, puzzles within the game are clever, therefore you may find many rage moments if you're not the best puzzle solver. As of December 2016, there are a total of 8 games, with Birthday and Theatre being the latest 2. These games can be found on Congregate and can be played for free. You'll find moments when the story shocks you and may lose your mind over the difficulty of puzzles, but considering the game is free, it wouldn't hurt to give the series a go. The Herbs, Sims in the City, Game Boy Advance version. The Herbs was a Sims game which was released in 2 different versions, which are the console version and the Game Boy Advance version. Whilst they are not well known compared to the main series, The Herbs to me is admirable for its detail of the city your herb lives in, whereby the term sim is replaced by herb. In the Game Boy Advance version, you create an herb which gets kicked out of an office you work in by a man named Daddy Big Bucks. It's then your objective to get your revenge on Big Bucks and stop him from taking over the city by completing a campaign set up for you. One of the groundbreaking things in this game for me is that the herbs allow players to do something in their jobs, rather than have to wait for their herbs to come back from work like a sim game. Other herbs will still jest with a dialect similar to Simlish, but when you bring an interface up with them, text will appear in your language. I find both of these characteristics of the game add to the experience rather than ruin archetypes found in The Sims, and is definitely something later Sims games could still pick up on. The game is no longer sold in stores anymore as Game Boy Advance games are no longer made. However, on eBay they are sold for around £5 or $6.24 as of December 2016. If you are a Sims fan, then this is a must-have game, as you can experience interesting mechanics and storytelling that time forgot. Yu-Gi-Oh! Reshift of Destruction. There has been a huge span of Yu-Gi-Oh! Games that have been released in Japan since 1998, and to this day games are still planning to be released all over the world. The game I have chosen is a non-canon game which was released in 2003, when the Waking of the Dragon series was still being released. The story revolves around stopping a being known as Mrjacharles, who intends to destroy the world, and it is up to Yugi, Joey, Kaiba, and a player you create to save the world. On your way, you'll find familiar characters from the series such as My Valentine, Weevil Underwood, and Bandit Keith, to name a few. There are also Easter egg characters which were only mentioned in the manga you'll encounter, such as the Puppeteer. The gameplay is almost exactly the same as the actual game, but you'll find some effect cards may vary. The game does require a lot of grinding as you try to level up your duel level, which allows you to use stronger cards, and your deck capacity, which allows you to have more stronger cards in your deck. This game is no longer sold in stores, but on eBay sells for around £7, or $8.74. The game requires more time into it rather than skill, but fans of the series will respect this spin-off title. Tomb Raider, Mists of Avalon. For me, a perfect game has to have a decent story, good challenge, and be reasonably priced. Despite Tomb Raider Mists of Avalon being a not well-known Tomb Raider game, I find this game fulfills all three criteria. The story focuses on the lore of Avalon, a mythological area where King Arthur resided. Laura wishes to find Arthur's tomb in order to find an artifact known as the Stone of Omphalos, which was used to harness and channel spiritual energy for rituals. Tomb Raider games are known to be challenging at their best, and Mists of Avalon is no different. The game is nice enough to start you in a training room, however if you do not know all your jumps and timings, the first room alone will be a nightmare. Once you do get past this point, the obstacle side of things will become easier, however finding what you have to do to beat the game becomes harder. You'll continue to find times when you are stuck and need to consult a walkthrough, however once you do realise what is needed to be done, you'll feel a good sense of achievement for figuring it out all by yourself. Or in some cases, you'll feel annoyed you had to look at that walkthrough. The astonishing part of this game is that it is absolutely free and can be downloaded on the Tomb Raider Level Editor website. All you have to do is type in Tomb Raider Mists of Avalon in the search engine, and the website should pop up. The only downside to this game is setting up can be annoying if you have an error with saving. If you do get this error and have no luck with online advice, then you can delete the pics folder, but this will remove the PVDA with helpful images and notes, but will allow you to save again. And so that's the end of my top 10 video. I hope you enjoyed it. I did have a few issues on the way, so obviously that bit at the start where the OBS came up and all the times when my voice got a bit cut out. It's the first time doing a top 10 list, and you know, even when I was editing it and I was trying to export it into a video, Movie Maker was like, no, I won't do that. I think I'll just malfunction instead, and it did that like 5 separate times. So yeah, I wouldn't mind doing more of those top 10 lists. I don't know when I'll do them though. If you guys really liked it, then I could do probably one a month. But I'll probably try and keep it one a year if you guys wouldn't mind. Okay, so from this point on, it's basically the normal Let's Talk stuff. So if you just want to see the top 10 videos, then that's fine. I shall see you in another vid. But usually in Let's Talk, I usually talk about other things. So technical difficulties. I've been trying to do console games lately. The one I was trying to do was Bloodborne, but unfortunately, my computer's too weak at the moment. It's only got 6 gigabytes of RAM, which at the moment isn't that much. A good gaming PC would have 16, or a crummy one would be about 8. So, as much as I'd love to play new console games, I can't. But on the bright side, I've been able to make sure all my videos are full screen now. Basically, sometimes you see there are columns around the video, but I've been able to work that out. Basically, I just needed to change the size of the video, and I swear I did that the first time round, and it didn't work. But you know what, YouTube? I'm fine with that. If you're going to accept me now, then do it. Good. Okay, sub count. So, as I am reading this, bear in mind I'm doing this on the day before, so this is actually on a Saturday, but my sub count currently is 158, which is absolutely amazing, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me for the whole of 2016. I mean, not the whole of it, when I started in 2016. But still, a lot has happened for me this year. I've made new friends, I've been very busy. I just hope that we can keep creating content together, and we can keep doing stuff. But hey, that's enough from me. I hope you have a great 2017, and I hope it's better than 2016 for most people. Just saying. But yeah, without further ado, look out for my book, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and until next time, see ya!